What's up, docs? I'm the Pillbug, and welcome back to Friendsim. We're moving on to Zebruh. This bastard. We're moving on to this bastard. Your stroll takes you into a nice part of town that seems to have larger, more McMansion-style hives. Based on your past experience on Alternia, you're not quite certain that upper-class enclaves equals safety for you, but you might as well explore. You never know where you'll find your next friend. Well, friend. The power of positive thinking must be on your side because someone emerges from the shadows of these sprawling suburbs. It's not. God, even his theme sounds slimy. Oh, hello there. And no, that sounds... I don't believe we've met. I'm sure I would have remembered someone with such unique looks. You do know where you are, do you? By this point in your time on Alternia, you don't know if it's wise to admit that you're lost and not naive to the ways of the world, but you don't know what you could say to try and convince this guy that you're that you got any kind of street smarts. You nod your head reluctantly, but he's actually looks more interested in you after the confirmation that you're new to the neighborhood. Of course he would. Have you perhaps found someone who likes you for your vulnerability and naivety? That would sure be fantastic luck. It wouldn't be. It's a good thing I found you. Not everyone isn't as respectful of lowbloods as I am. Oh, but I shouldn't make assumptions just because you're not much of a to look at. My bad. I don't mean to be forward, but you're just so interesting. Mind if I ask what color your blood is? Oh god, don't get any close to me, you rat fuck! You hesitate while you're still terrifyingly ignorant of the intricacies of Alternian society. You're starting to feel terrifyingly informed about the role that blood color plays in this world. And you've managed to gather by now that plain old human red blood isn't considered one of the better colors to have. What do? Yeah, Zebruh isn't the type of guy who gives a shit about high bloods. And I think he could tell you're lying, but you know what? I'm curious to see what would happen, because I really don't want to be with him. Oh, really? It's not that I don't want to be friends with other high bloods, but I'm a busy troll, you understand, so I only befriend folks that I might, want to fill a quadrant with someday. Besides, high bloods just don't need as much help in us unjust society. Stay awakened. He pumps his fist in the air and you immediately copy him, but the gesture doesn't seem to be enough to change his mind about you not being oppressed enough for his tastes. So, I just don't think it's going to work out between us. Out of his league. Good. Fuck you. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Sayonara, you rat fuck. But I know that it won't last, so you know what? Let's tell the truth. Red, huh? Wow, that's unique. I've always liked the color red. I don't think I've ever filled a quadrant with a red blood before. I mean, I don't think I've ever made friends with a red blood before. You don't know what a quadrant is or what it means to fill one. Given your experiences on the planet so far, you're nervous that it could mean something violent. But you don't want to further expose your ignorance, so you just say that you're as excited for this friendship as he is. You come out strong. Nice. You need a place to stay for the day, right? I can help you out with that. I got plenty of spare rooms for guests in my hive. Space! Okay, everything's recording just fine. Actually, is this recording? Yes, it is. Okay, good. I'm always paranoid about that. Because I believe it's important to help out the unserved members of the community when I can. My hive is just this way, shall we? You follow him down the street. You guess it must qualify as a nice night because you see lots of other trolls walking around here too. Excuse me. Most of them are dressed as nice as Zebruh. You see a few shabbier looking trolls that must be lowbloods walking with high bloods. Today is actually Fluster Formation Day, so you'll see a lot of trolls taking their mate spirits out to celebrate. Lucky for you, my Flux quadrant is currently empty, so I'm all yours for tonight. Whew. That sounds a little weird. He doesn't need to be all yours, you assure him. You're an easygoing individual who's happy to share their friends with plenty of other friends. Sure, sharing can be a good time if you're into that. I could be, speaking personally, like maybe you two with two lowbloods, but not in an objectifying way. Everyone involved has got to respect each other, you know? Wow, what? You have no idea how innocent your comment about friendship got taken into this particular place. You decide that maybe the best thing to say here is nothing, because who knows how he might misinterpret you next. Huh. Looks like there's a lot of high-blood, low-blood couples out tonight for the holiday. Pretty unusual to see this neighborhood, to be honest. It's sad, but most of these low-bloods are probably with their mates first because it's socially advantageous. Pretty shitty of the high-bloods to take advantage of that, but not everyone is as socially conscious as I am. You're not. You're really not. I think it's super terrible when high-bloods don't treat their low-blood mates first like the queens that they are. You look around at all the other couples. The class divide is pretty noticeable, and some of the high-blood trolls have scornful looks on their faces when they walk to their low-blood dates. One troll dressed in cerulean is making her shabbily dressed mate sprint kneel down so he can give her a ride on his shoulders. It could maybe be a cute coupley thing, you guess, except she's sure laughing a lot and has the heel of her boot pressing into the back of his neck. Ugh. You don't want to speculate on what people might be into, but it does seem kind of humiliating. Zebruh sees where you're looking and shudders theatrically. In the process of waving his arms around in disgust, he slips an arm over your shoulders. I'm so sorry. You shouldn't have to see something like that. You're trying to think of a tactful and friendly way to move away from his arm around your shoulders when you arrive at what must be his hive. It's the biggest and most McMansion-y hive on the block, and when he stops in front of it, he lets go of you to gesture proudly at his sprawling home. Thank fuck! Welcome to my humble abode. I just feel grateful, you know, to be able to share my wealth with those less fortunate. Oh, wasn't expecting to see you this quickly. When you walk inside the front door, you're greeted by a very distinguished-looking white zebra. It has normal zebra markings all over its body, except for around its neck, where the dark gray zags have formed a shape that looks like a bow tie, almost like it's wearing a suit. You don't know how its zebra face manages to radiate pure disdain when it looks at you, but that is unquestionably the energy you're getting. Don't mind my Lucis. He's kinda socially old-fashioned. But he lets me keep lowbloods around the hive to help out and stuff, so he's not all bad. Let me give you the grand tour. As Zebruh takes you through the spacious hive, you can see other trolls in several of the rooms. Most of them aren't wearing clothes as nice as Zebruh's. You're guessing these are the lowbloods he's just mentioned. They seem to all be doing chores, sweeping, cooking, exchanging green slime in troll-sized bathtubs for others, possibly fresher green slime. Each of them glances up at you and Zebruh when you pass by, then looks deferentially away. The Zebra Lucis is following you, and every time you exit a room, it pauses in the doorway to whinny out what could be orders, or possibly he's just berating them. You arrive at an empty ballroom-looking place upstairs, where several lowblood trolls are hard at work cleaning up the remains of what must have been quite the party. Zebruh seems to notice you noticing how all the trolls in here are scrubbing the floor and how they are all avoiding your eyes. See? I told you I'd take in plenty of guests. I believe it's important to promote diversity, you know? So that's why you don't see other Indigo bloods here. Looks like all the guests are busy today. Well, an important part of communal living involves contributing to your labor when it's necessary. Right, guys? A few lowbloods mutter in information, while the others just put their sponges and mops down to prostrate their whole bodies on the floor. Zebruh looks a little uncomfortable with the bowing, but not that uncomfortable. He doesn't introduce you to any of them. They don't all realize yet that my hive is a sanctuary for the harsh injustices of the outside world. Right, I can tell. Anyways, enough about my low-blood guests. Let's take care of you, shall we? Perhaps his Lucis has had enough of tolerating your presence because it takes the opportunity to stop following you and go huff at more of Zebruh's guests. Now, for better or for worse, you are alone and Zebruh has turned all of his attention onto you. His smile seems very friendly. You want to see it as friendly. The night is still young. I'm happy to do whatever you want to do. If you feel like going out on the town to celebrate Flush Information Day, I have lots of other friends I could introduce you to. Help you meet the right kind of culture, you know? Or if you're tired, I can show you to your guest room now and we can have a nice night in. Go out or stay in? I think it would be best to go out where there's witnesses, thank you. I don't want to... Let's go out! Let's just go where there's witnesses and I can run! You're not crazy about the idea of being alone with this guy for the rest of the night. Plus, if he's as popular as he says he is, that means more potential friends for you to meet. You tell him that you're interested in going out. Excuse me. Cool. That sounds like a great time. I'll go get ready. Actually, I think I'm more in the mood for a nice quiet night in. Maybe television streaming services and lower the temperature, if that's cool with you. Boy, if that has the same connotations as it does on Earth, it's not cool with you. You stumble through expressing some misgivings, but he talks over it. Great, sounds like you both feel like staying in tonight. I'm not gonna lie, I'm psyched to stay in and have you all to myself. I just want you to feel comfortable, whatever we choose to do. You're not sure why he asked what you wanted to do, since your preferences don't seem to matter much. My Lucis and my guests have probably prepared a delicious meal for you by now, but let's finish the tour first. I assume you want to see my room. You tell him, sure, bedrooms are a great way for people to express their personalities, and as his friend, you're interested in getting to know him better. He doesn't seem to have heard the part of that sentence, but it's okay. Hopefully you got the gist. I doubt it. When you get into his enormous room, it's decorated with posters of musicians on the wall, and what seem to be social justice slogans. One poster has a symbol with clawed hands in several different colors coming together in a hold of a trident, with the word unity underneath it. Another poster features a rainbow of colors ranging from the rust to olive green that proclaims him to be a low-blood ally. You're one of those, aren't you? You're one of those. Ugh. Two other low-blood servants are in here, one of them standing on a stepladder to dust some high shelves while the other crawls around on the floor, scrubbing and picking up wallpapers that Zebruh seems to have just littered there. Pretty sweet place, right? You look confused by the posters. Your music taste probably isn't refined enough to have heard of my favorite bands. I only listen to subversive musicians that speak the truth to power. Is one of those the Grubbles? Please tell me one of those is the Grubbles. I would be worth it just to see a poster of the Grubbles. Please! Anything to distract me from being with you! Luckily, you have me to teach you how to confront your privilege and support marginalized artists. Also, did you notice my rad pile? It's a perfect setup for feeling jams with your moirail. He winks at you. You don't know what a moirail is or what he means by feeling jam, which sounds like in theory it could be a nice thing, but maybe not given the sleazy way he says it. You tell him that it looks like a very nice pile of things. You spot a couple pillows, what look like a puppet with a disturbingly long nose, some random bow ties, a few horseshoes. You look intrigued. Want to lie down in it for a second? You don't have to do anything, but sometimes it can be nice to just, pacify each other a little bit. He sprawls on the pile in what he probably thinks is an enticing way, like he wants you to draw him like one of your French girls. You turn away to try and hide the disturbed expression on your face, because turning down his advances probably isn't the best way to secure his friendship. As your eyes cast about the rest of the room, you notice that the low-blood servant scrubbing the floor is having a coughing fit. You can tell that she's trying to cough unobtrusively, but it seems like he's hacking her lungs up, with each big cough racking her whole body and making her shoulders shake. Concerned, you crouch down by her side. She jumps when she notices your concern and mumbles that she's fine, that you don't need to worry. But she doesn't look fine. Now that you're getting a closer look, you can tell that she seems to be underfed and exhausted, with sickly shadows on her face and scraped up knees and elbows. She looks bad, and you know bad. You considering how much of your time you've recently spent stumbling around the various excruciating injuries. You mentioned to Zebruh that his guest is not looking so good. He frowns, getting up from his pile of stuff to come investigate, looking down at you in confusion and not sparing a glance for the low blood. What? What are you even talking about? The servant tries to go back to her scrubbing, but she struggles with coughing and scrubbing simultaneously. It's hard for you to watch. Ugh, God. Surely she would feel better if she took a break and ate or drank something. You asked Zebruh about the hot meal he said was being cooked for you. Maybe you could give some of it to his poor sick troll? Geez, you're making me look bad. There's no way a guest in my house would be going hungry. I respect lowbloods and do everything in my power to take care of them. What, you think you're a better ally than I am? Considering your status, or lack thereof, one of his pale planet, you're not sure you count as an ally so much as a member of the oppressed underclass, but you let that slide. You hasten to explain that you didn't mean to criticize him, and you're sure he's doing a fine job at being an ally to lowbloods. Yeah, well, it's not easy. Whatever. Maybe we should go eat now. I don't feel like having feeling jams anymore. He turns and leaves the room without showing any sign that he'll do something for the sick lowblood. You mouth an apology to her behind his back, and she just gives you a tired wave and goes back to scrubbing. You can see why I hate this guy now, right? Zebruh leads you downstairs to the dining room where there's Lucis supervising a team of lowbloods setting the table with what looks like a 4-course meal. The look on the Lucis' Zebruh face is now even more disdainful than before, and his bow tie seems angrier. Looks like dinner's almost ready. Cool. Of course, you're probably not going to offer to pay for any of it, are you? Figures, lowbloods. I mean, trolls in general are always expecting me to provide for them without it if they're offering a conspicuous in return. For once, you're kind of glad that you're unfamiliar with this alien vocabulary innuendo. You have absolutely no money, which he definitely knows. You can pay him back for the dinner in friendship? Yeah, well, I'm not sure if I want to be friends with someone who has a problem with the way I do activism. I have good authority for every other Hiveblood I know that my intersectional praxis is valid. You stumble over your words in your haste to assure him that you're in no way meant to say he's not valid. You've never met a troll so valid. No one believes in his validity more than you do. Whatever, let's just eat. You both sit down at the table while the lowbloods set the table, light the candles, and serve the appetizer course. You can't help but notice that most of them look just as malnourished and sickly as the troll upstairs, but it might be best not to bring that up again. You eat in silence for a while, and Zebruh looks like he's stewing over something. Then he sets his fork down and looks over the table at you with a frown. You know what? I just realized. You totally denied my lowblood her own agency when you questioned me about not feeding her. Yeah, what you said was totally problematic. You don't respect lowbloods at all, do you? Not like I do. You try to apologize, saying that it was not your intention to disrespect anyone, but that you're sorry you apparently did. He doesn't let you get the words out. Fuck you. People don't realize how tough it is to be a high-blood troll who believes in social justice. Seriously, I face my own kind of oppression for speaking out and being an activist for lowbloods' rights. For one thing, I never get the constellation of conspicuous I deserve. My quadrants are always going to unfilled because no one else agrees with my radical views. I thought you'd be different, but you don't get it either. You try to tell him that he's got you all wrong. You agree with his radical views and believe in lowblood rights, which is why you were concerned for his guests in the first place. But he acts like he didn't say any of what you just said. You're just another one of the oppressors, complicit with the unequal power structures of our fucked up society. Your lack of awareness is your own privilege really makes me sick. You must think you're so oppressed with your red blood and multiple injuries. But what you're doing now, rejecting me and criticizing me, it's really exactly the same as what subjugulators do to lowbloods, to the lowbloods they call. You really are one of those dickheads, aren't ya? Aren't ya? Fuck you. You probably deserve whatever shitty position you have in society. Unlike me, I deserve to have this nice house and lowblood servants and full quadrants for being such a good activist, okay? He's standing up now, advancing on you with his Zebruh, stamping his hooves threateningly at his side. You scramble back, trying to make your way to the front door. It's tricky because you have to step around all the lowbloods who seem to feel strongly that they should get away from Zebruh when he's angry. You don't get to the front door fast enough on your own. Ouch. With a terrifyingly equine scream, Zebruh's Lucis rears up on his hind legs and strikes you with its hooves, battering you through the front door and breaking some of your recently healed ribs again. Take your privileged and offensive views and get out. Anyone who doesn't respect lowbloods is now welcome as a guest in my hive. It would behoove you to stay away. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Fine, show me to my room, dick. You think that going out with Zebruh on Flush Affirmation Day might be potential to give him the wrong idea. Besides, you're pretty tired, so you don't feel like going out. You tell him you're ready to retire to your guest room now. Sure. Oh, bruh, by the way, have you heard of Chixie Roxamer? You probably haven't. You don't seem like you're a very serious music fan. But you've got a great opportunity tonight to learn from me. One of her low-blood musician friends is playing a show for the holiday, and I can get in because I'm super connected to the scene. We should go just in case she's there. I know Chixie! You could have sworn you told him you wanted to stay in tonight, but okay. You can gather the remains of your energy and go out to this concert with him. That's what a good friend would do. He takes you across town to the concert, always trying to hold your hand or put his arm around you a couple times on the way, so it could be worse. Maybe hand-holding is totally platonic on Alternia? You hope so. The concert itself is one troll with a guitar and a harmonica, who, according to Zebruh, is a lowblood whose songs are spreading truly radical messages, almost as radical as Chixie's. You enjoy the tunes as much as you can, but you don't understand what the lyrics are trying to say. You ask Zebruh what the lyrics mean, since the message is apparently important to him, but he gets annoyed with your question. What? The lyrics are about... Well, they're about a lot of things, social justice and oppression and stuff. It's hard to explain to someone who doesn't already get it. Like if you're not on my level already, I don't know what I can really say, you know? But enough about the music. I want to talk about you. What sort of things are you into? You haven't had many opportunities on Alternia to talk about your interests, but how exciting! You say that you like playing games, but he's already interrupting you. Cool. Sounds great. Really interesting stuff. But what's your quadrant situation like? It's harder to pretend that you know what he's talking about, but he's asked you about quadrants directly. You admit that you have no idea what he means by quadrant situation. Whoa, you're even more clueless than I thought. Don't worry. I still find you attractive. He goes into a brief, but not really brief enough explanation of the 4 types of romance on Alternia. Mate Sprit, the Flush Quadrant, which to you sounds the most analogous to human romantic partnerships. Moraligence, the Pale Quadrant, which sounds like an exceptionally codependent friendship by human standards. Auspicism, the Ashen Quadrant, which you don't understand at all. And Kismissitude, the Black Quadrant, which just sounds like repeatedly hooking up with someone you hate. You're fuzzy on the details of all 4 of these, but you understand enough to get what he's asking, if you're single. You tell him that you really just want to be friends. Of course, I super respect your choices. I'm starting to sound like Gibbsy, sorry. If you ever change your mind, I'm right here. And being in a quadrant is an influential, yet sensitive and socially aware indigo blood like myself could make it a lot easier for you if you survive and thrive on Alternia. Wasn't he criticizing that kind of high blood, low blood socially advantageous relationship just a few hours ago? It wouldn't be very friendly of you to point out his hypocrisy, so you don't mention it. After another song, another troll at the club sidles up to Zebruh and whispers something in his ear, then skulks off again. Zebruh looks alarmed, glancing around him and edging towards the club exit. I just got a tip that there's about to be culling at this concert. We should get out of here. You definitely agree with him about wanting to get out of here. You look around at the rest of the audience still enjoying the show. You and Zebruh are the only ones getting ready to leave. Is he going to warn any of the trolls here of the danger? Oh no, definitely not. If I were to warn any of these lowbloods about that a culling is coming, that would mean risking my life too. Not that I've ever tried, but everyone knows that. The highbloods here will probably be fine though. We've got each other's backs. It's important to look out to your comrades in the struggle. Sure enough, you can see that the other trolls here too, much like Zebruh, stand out because they're wearing nice clothes and are casually but urgently leaving the concert venue. The lowbloods are still clapping and singing along with the singer on stage. No one has given them a tip-off. Come on, we should scram. Well, that was fucking douchey. Honestly, this in light of recent events, this is actually kind of accurate to most dipshits in real life. The two of you abscond getting away from the music club as fast as your legs can carry you. By the time Zebruh decides it's safe, you slow down. You're tired and out of breath. Looking around, it seems like you have arrived back in the high blood part of town. You wonder if drones have descended on all those trolls at at the club by now, and he just can't hear it because the neighborhood is too far away, closed off and sheltered from the violence. Phew, that was a close one. Going to low-blood cultural events like that can be dangerous, but it's one of the risks that you have to take if you want to be an activist. I can't tell you how many times I've risked a calling to fight for low-blood rights. Civil disobedience is the only way to fight the authoritarian state. He turns to you and takes one of your hands in both of his, looking deep into your eyes. I think it's cool. I just think it's cool how you supported me back there when we risked our lives in the cause. That's probably the best way you can contribute as an activist and ally, you know, by supporting me. And speaking of activism, we were talking about quadrants earlier. Let's get back to that. This guy just does not take no for an answer. Once again, you reiterate that friendship is what you're looking for here. He nods enthusiastically and squeezes your hands tighter. Fuck yeah, I love friendship. I've always believed that a strong friendship is the best foundation for any successful romantic relationship. And any trolls start by being friends first and enter into a quadrant later. Even if you try to be friends, but then fight too much, that can still prepare you for a Calignis quadrant. Either way, the thought of being your friend makes my blood pusher beat a little faster. Sure, you say. If what we're doing is extolling the benefits of friendship, then boy, you do have some things to add to this list. For instance, friendship can give you a sense of platonic companionship with your fellow man, and friendships can also come in handy when you need someone to help you move or take you to the airport for other non-romantic activities. If you think friendship is a great thing to pursue for its own merits, friendship is so great that once you have it, why would you want anything more? Hell yeah, totally. You're so right that friendship is a great first step. Did you enjoy the concert tonight? Did it persuade you to be an ally for low-blood rights? You think that going by your low-blood color and how often you have almost gotten killed by those more powerful on this planet, you're more like a member of the oppressed underclass than you are an ally. But you decide not to split hairs and just tell him that yes, you'll be an ally to yourself. That's fantastic. I'm so glad to hear that. If you're an ally to lowbloods, then I'll allow you to be my mate sprit. Friend, correct him. You correct him. You can be friends. Right, sure, yep. I meant to say friend. He lets go of your hands finally, which at least counts for a partial victory and winks. We did it! Yay! We're friends with the rat bastard now. I don't know how to feel about this. Jesus Christ. I'm just gonna end this episode here before I start to throw up. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you liked it, hit the like button down below. And I'll see you in the next episode of What the Heck I Make. Chat.